Hi everybody, it's Deb here with Creative Life. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you all are having a great day. Well, you guys, we are in April, and I cannot believe how fast this time has gone by. So we are here today with the Mixed Media Kit, and with this Mixed Media Kit, we already shared what everything you get inside of this on April 1st. And so I will put the reveal video here for you. And this is what we're going to be using, which is this beautiful little wooden unicorn. And then we're going to be using some of this Distress Grit paste. We're going to be using some of this gel, or jewel, I should say. It's a jewel effect paste. It's crushed crystals. And then we're going to be using some of this beautiful gold, antique gold it's a powder, and I believe it's Pearl X. So we're going to be using some of this with both of these. We're going to mix in a little bit of these this enamel accents, and we're going to be using that. Of course, we're going to be using the super pretty little wings, and then I'm not sure if we'll be using the Versacolor, but that might come in on another project. So what you're going to need, so we're going to push all of this to the side. Now what I do is I use, when you get your little plastic containers for either flowers or like if you have dyes or whatever that come in these plastic containers, I usually save them and I take off the top part because I use these as my easels sometimes, and they're just really good for mixing like your mixed media things, right? And so anyway, this one's kind of washed. It's been kind of used, you can see. So I'm going to scoot this off to the side. You're going to need a little container, something maybe like this, or you can always use a little side of your little mat or whatever you use to mix your paste. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and we're going to place some of this Pearl X antique gold in here. Okay, and I'm just taking like maybe a little pinch of that, putting that in there. Okay, and I don't really need the rest of this. I'm stick that there. And then you're going to grab some water, and you're just going to do about maybe 2 squirts, okay? I think about 2 squirts. You want it kind of thick, okay? So, and then you're just going to go ahead and mix that up. So I'm just mixing that up right just like that, okay? Making sure I have it all together in there. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our grit paste, okay? Now, you can do this however you want. I'm going to get my mat, so I'll be right back. Okay, so to start off with, you're going to go ahead and we're going to use this grit paste first. Okay, so with this, we're just going to go ahead and you're going to place it all over the horse. Now, you don't have to if you don't want to do it this way. I just thought that it would look really nice with it, and it's a really fine grit. It's not very chunky, so that is a plus. So I'm going to grab my little spatula here, and I'm going to go ahead and go over that. So I thought I would go ahead and speed this up a bit. I know my hand is going really fast, but basically I'm just spreading this little grit paste that we have in the kit all over the horse. And I do use my fingers to kind of smooth it out as best as I can and really just spread this out. It doesn't take a lot, and as you see, I can, if some falls off, I could just go ahead and I could just place that back on there and kind of place it back, smooth it out on the horse. So here what I did is on the hooves, I went ahead and I placed a little bit thicker grit paste on them so they would have kind of like a ridge along between the leg and the hooves. Okay, so next I found like a little vial I had, and I just squirted some water in with the powder. Now the powder, I just used it a little bit, like maybe, I don't know, a half a teaspoon or less, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon. And I just kind of uh, went ahead and um, placed that down. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't use a whole bunch. And I did kind of pat this on, or as you can see, I'm not doing like strokes, like the full paintbrush strokes. I'm just dabbing this on. And the reason why is because it seemed like when you get that grit wet, it becomes really chunky. So that's why I decided to go ahead and just dab this on instead of like using paint strokes. So after you get this on, just let it dry for a bit. I did add some more of the antique gold to this and some more water. And then I believe I went back over it again to see if the gold would come out a little bit more, but it didn't seem like it really worked all that well. So we come back in with some different gold later. So, and it's trial and error. I mean, that's what mixed media is all about. But, just trying things out and seeing how it turns out, see what you like. And sometimes if you don't like it, then you can always fix it with something else. So that's what I did. So again, I'm just going over the horse or over the unicorn, and patting down some of the gold on top of there. Now, once I was done putting on the antique gold, I went ahead and just kind of dried it with my heat gun a little bit. And then that kind of showed a little bit of white through the paint. So, or the gold. So I went ahead and just added some more on top because I didn't want that white grit to show through. So that's why I added some more on top of there. Then I went ahead and painted the horn, the gold that we just did, and made with the water. So next I grabbed the Jewel Effect Paste, which is the crust crystals, and then I added some of that antique gold. I used a lot of this antique gold, you guys. I'm almost out. So yeah, I just loved it. I just really liked it, how this looked. So I went ahead and poured that on top of the crushed crystals and maneuvered that around a bit. And then I decided, you know what, I kind of want to add some purple in there. So I went ahead and brought in that enamel accents that you have, and so I went ahead and added that to it, and it gave it a really nice little purplish kind of look, and I really liked that. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and use that on the hooves, and then on the tail and the mane of the unicorn. So again, I just went ahead and painted the hooves with that crystal, the effect paste, and I added in the purple enamel that we got, the accents, the enamel accents, along with some of the antique gold. And then I decided to add some more purple because I really kind of, the purple was perfect, but I really wanted it to stand out a little bit more. So I decided to go ahead and add a little bit more to the mixture and then painted the tail. Now I just kind of dabbed it on and kind of like um, made little dents, I guess is what you would say. I don't know. I'm not a painter, so I don't know exactly the terms that you would use. But I didn't want it like just a flat painted tail. I really wanted some texture in there. So I just kind of dabbed it on and kind of made it like, I don't know, lumpy, bumpy, or whatever, and just kind of really painted it on there different. Next, I started painting the back of the horse, and then I also painted the edging of the horse. So all the way around the edge of the horse, I also painted and made sure that it was just that gold color that I've been using, that antique gold. And so I just went ahead and painted the unicorn, and then I came in with my heat gun and then dried the back part of this. Now you can actually decorate the back of the horse the same as you did the front, so you don't have to worry, about if someone sees the back. So here I placed a little bit more of the enamel down, the purple enamel accent, and just went around the hooves and the tail and the horn. And then I just started painting the edge of that mane. And I didn't want a whole lot on the mane. I just decided to go ahead and just do a little tiny bit on there. Okay, so the next thing I did is I just grabbed these wings, and at first I went ahead and cut them apart because I was going to go ahead and place them where like they were up and like he was flying. But then I decided to go ahead and turn them around and place them like, they were down. So, he was just, relaxing or whatever, So I don't know, just walking around maybe. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and just put glue right on the little edge there and then place them on top of each other, just like that. Of course, you can do your wings however you would like. Next, I went ahead and grabbed some of these little butterflies that had like teeny tiny roses on them. They were so cute. And so I used these as my little, kind of like a little necklace or, a little um, flowery lay on around the horses' necks. And I just thought that that was so cute. So I really liked how that looked. They turned out really, really super cute. So here I'm just going to go ahead and place that together, and then I went ahead and placed that down just like that. So next I added some foam tape to the bottom of the wing, and I did that just to kind of see if it would give the wing a little bit of a lift, and it did a little bit. So I really like how that turned out. And then I went ahead and came in and placed or adhered down the little flower thing that I had for the unicorn and just mounted that down just like that. Now this part I went over the hooves and the horn and the tail with the crystals and the crystal paste. But don't go over the horse unless you want to. I did fix it,
but I felt that it kind of darkened it a little bit, and I didn't really like the way that it looked. And you'll see here in a minute. Um, so it did look okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. And so it's totally up to you. You can try it and see if you like it. But it just didn't turn out the way that I wanted the on the horse body itself. On the tail and the hooves and the horn and the mane, it looked great. And then I went ahead and added some of the little crystal um, paste to the flowers just to give it a little bit of a shiny look. So I went ahead and left it like that, but then I decided to go ahead and come back in with some different texture. So I went ahead and grabbed what was in one of the kits from last year, I believe. It's called Sparks, and it's an art alchemy, and it's an acrylic paint. And this was really pretty. Again, so here I'm just trying to lay this down. And when I put the crystals on, see, kind of like matted everything. And I just didn't like how it looked. And so that's why I just felt like I wish I wouldn't have put it on the body, but you can if you want to. Okay, so here I came in with the Art Alchemy paint, the Sparks, and I really like how this looked. And I felt that it really brightened up the horse a little bit more. Um, and I would have just liked how it looked before I put the crystals on top of the body. But since I did that, I went ahead and came back in with this, and I really like it. So here I came in with some of the enamel effects, and I just went ahead and placed it on top of the mane a little bit. And then I came back in with my napkin, and I just kind of dabbed it, so I kind of muted it a little bit. And I really like how that looked. It looks really good.
Okay, so we're on to our second horse. Now, my little horse here is missing a little leg. I don't know where. I don't know what happened to it. I think it was on there, and I must have hit it or something, and it got broken off, and I don't know where it went. So, anyway, but that's okay because we're actually going to use this little horse on something else. So we already finished this one, and now we're going to be moving on to this one. Now for this one, it's going to be using the gears from the scrapbook kit. Now these gears are like this, and I love these gears. Oh. So we're going to be using these. And then we're going to be using this Versacolor. Now this horse is going to be super simple, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to be rubbing this ink on top of the horse. And then we'll go ahead and we will place a little bit of gold on top of it, but just kind of sporadically. So I'm just going to place this on here all over the horse. I think this is so, so pretty, you guys. Ugh. And we're also going to clear emboss this, okay? So that way we know that this is going to stay. It's not going to come off, because if you kind of put your finger on it, it kind of comes off a little bit, and I don't really want it to come off. So we are going to emboss this horse. So we're going to go ahead and just continue to place this ink all over the horse. I keep calling it a horse, you guys. It's actually a unicorn. I keep calling it a horse. So we're going to keep doing that. Okay, just like that. I'm going to, remove my little fingerprint there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and grab our embossing powder and we're going to emboss this. And you want to just use clear embossing powder, you guys. So let me grab my clear embossing powder.
So here I'm just using my clear embossing powder all over the little unicorn, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat gun and we're going to heat this up. So this stays on pretty easy, y'all. And when I heat this up, I try not to stay in like one specific spot. I try to move the heat gun around because that way it gives the embossing powder to sit chance to get heated, but then sit and then heat it again. And it seems like it was just simpler that way. So, and that way it doesn't bubble up too much in sitting in one area. So I really love how this turned out. I hope you guys are enjoying the tutorial today.
Okay, and there we go. So there is this horse and it's all embossed now. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to mix up some other items. And so I'm going to be right back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mix this up. And I'm going to grab my little spoon. Now where I did it. Where did I put it? I don't know. So I'm going to grab my little spoon and I'm just going to place some of the antique gold in my little cup. And I am going to grab some water. I don't think I have very much water in here. Now, this, I don't know if this will work or not, so we're going to see. If it doesn't work, I have another idea that we're going to use for the horn that I think is going to be a really, really fun. And I'm going to paint his horn. Yeah, it's not sticking. Okay, I didn't think it was going to stick, so all right. So I'm going to wipe this away. Okay, and
So what we're going to do is we're going to use some gold gilding leaves, and I have one from Nouveau, but there is one that you probably got in one of your mixed media kits that is gilding flakes, and that is by Lisa Horton, and it is like a rose gold color, and you are more than welcome to use that one. So here I'm going to use this gold leaf, and I'm going to place this around the horn. Now you can also use that Sparks Gold if you have that paint. Then from a previous mixed media kit, you can also use that on the horn or any kind of gold paint or something that you have. So here I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place this gold leafing over the horn. And this stuff is so flaky, you guys. It sticks to everything. So I'm just wrapping it around the entire horn, the front and the back. And you can definitely decorate the back of your little unicorns. It just doesn't have to be only one-sided. You can definitely do both sides if you'd like. So here I'm just kind of rubbing that off. It was stuck on there. I think I accidentally got glue right there. So it's just sticking like crazy. So here I'm just wrapping it all the way around the horn.
Okay, once your unicorn's horn is dry, then you can just feel around and kind of take away any little pieces that might be sticking out or whatever, and just kind of lay it down. Next, we're going to use the grit paste, and for this, we're going to be placing this along the mane, okay? And you're not going to need a whole bunch, just a little bit, okay? Just a tiny bit, just like this, just kind of along the mane.
Okay, so here I'm just getting the spatula and I'm placing the little grit down, and I'm just kind of going back and forth along the where the mane would be, and I'm kind of making it look like he has hair there. So that way, um, you know, the knife actually creates like a little bit of a texture look when you hold it or you're doing it like I'm doing, where it's a downward, like out downward motion. And you can actually use the edging of your knife to create some little lines and stuff inside of the tail and the mane. And then next we're going to go ahead and place some on the hoof of the unicorn. And I'm kind of molding it with my finger so that way it has more of a raised look to it. So next I'm grabbing the little crystals, and then I'm going to place some of that gold, uh, that antique gold inside of the paste like we did before. And I'm just going to keep pouring that on there until it turns like a goldish color. And we're going to just keep going there with it. And then I decided to go ahead and just um, come in and actually use the powder instead of the watered down paint. So I used the powder, and the powder seems like it turns the little crystal paste um, the gold color that I wanted. So I really like how it turned out. So next I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab that paste. And again, this is the Jewel Effect paste. And I'm just going to go over the top of the mane and the tail. So here I'm just using those same strokes where it was like kind of like in and out, kind of like patting it down, kind of, you know, just rubbing it down in, not into the paste, but on top of the paste. So next I'm going to go ahead and do the tail, and then we'll do the hooves. Again, the hooves are raised a little bit with that paste, so that way they have more of a raised look and not so flat against the body. Okay, so here what I did is I turned my knife and I started like making lines with my spatula and just kind of creating like the hair is like wind blown, and then the tail as well. Next, I went ahead and grabbed my heat gun. Now, this isn't going to dry it all the way through, and you don't want it to do that, okay? But you do want it to kind of bubble a little bit on the tail and not so much on the mane. But on the tail, it gives it kind of a nice effect, and I really like how it kind of forms kind of the little wrinkles on the tail, so to speak. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start laying down the gears, and this is the fun part. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start laying down the gears. And again, these gears are from the scrapbook kit. And I went ahead and just placed some 3D glue on top of them or on the bottom of them, however you want to place them down. And then I went ahead and just glued them right on top of one another using that 3D glue. Okay, now I don't know if your regular glue will hold these as you're laying down one piece on top of the other. The reason why is because these are metal, and so I'm not sure, like, if your glue will be able to hold them. I guess you could also use E6000 if you wanted to, and then again, like I used the 3D gel paste that we got. It's actually in the beginning of the year. This is the part of that beginner set that I got for mixed media, for the mixed media kit. So there's there's three on one side and then three on the other. So I just thought these were super cool, and I kind of wanted to make kind of like a steampunk horse. And if you know where this is going, if you have the scrapbook kit, we are going to use this horse on top of the scrapbook kit. So, or on top of something that I'm making with the scrapbook kit. so, so you're going to go ahead and let that dry for a bit. And then again, I went ahead and painted the edging of that horse or the unicorn with the gold antique color. I just thought I just love that color, and it's just so pretty. So I went ahead and covered the whole edging of the unicorn. So next I cut the wings, and then I decided I was going to place them upright. So that way it kind of looks like he's flying a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and glue these down. And to glue them down, you can use your 3D gloss gel, or you can use your regular glue as well.
Okay, you guys, so we're done with this little unicorn and for fly or Pegasus. And I just think that this is super pretty. I think it turned out really nice. I like how I did the splotches around the horse, and you could see a little bit of it. We dabbed that watered down Pearlex on top, and then we just kind of dabbed it with a napkin, and you can see a little bit of the shimmer on there. I think it's so pretty. And then we did our little horn here, and I think that turned out really nice too. And then we added our wings, and here on the tail and on the mane, we used the grit and the jewel crushed crystals paste, and I just think that that is so pretty. And then we added some gears from the scrapbook kit, which I thought was a really nice touch. And we're going to be using this on a project later with the scrapbook kit, so stay tuned. So I'm really excited to share that with you. Here I just went ahead and I I went ahead and painted the rest of the gold that I had, and I just painted that around the little platform here. And like I said, my little unicorn is missing his leg, but that's okay. And then you could stand him up. So I think that this turned out super pretty. I absolutely love it. And it's not standing up. I think it's because he's missing a leg or something. So, but there he goes. He can stand up without his leg. And we're going to be using this one, so I am really excited to share that with you. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you guys liked both of these projects. I think they both turned out absolutely beautiful. And so that is the mixed media kit, you guys. I'll have the link down below for you. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and head on over to Trace Jolie to check out their shop. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and join me Friday nights at 4:30 Central Time.